Today I'm going to show you guys the biggest change that I'm making to my bull market strategy at this stage of the market. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I've been around for what you could say is all three crypto cycles. I was around here, and I was around here, and I was around here. And I can tell you that I saw many people come into these cycles, make a whole lot of money on the way up, and then basically lose all the money on the way down. And the truth is they did this because of their human emotion. Their own emotion was what actually caused them to destroy every single part of the profits that they actually made, right? I saw people come in at the right time, buy things too late, hold things for too long, and then eventually land up just giving back all the profits. And some people that I know actually got wrecked and never came back into crypto. They pretty much lost so much money that they're not allowed back into crypto. Their wives won't even let them come back into crypto. I'm not even joking with you. And the truth is that I was almost also in that position. I was lucky though, because I managed to keep some money and I managed to take a whole lot of my learnings. But I was one of the lucky ones. A lot of my friends got totally wrecked. But in this cycle, I'm going to take the learnings that I had and I'm going to apply the learnings that I had so that I don't make the same mistakes. And my objective in this cycle is actually to keep a lot more of the money that I make, as opposed to just making money and then landing up not actually keeping that money. And so one of the biggest things that I have decided to do in this part of the cycle is actually to eliminate my own emotion from trading. And the reason why I want to do that is because this part of the cycle is aggressive. And when the cycle gets aggressive, it lures you in, and it lures you in at the wrong time. And so the biggest change that I'm making to my investment strategy is to eliminate my human emotion. And I know we've all heard that this cycle is different. And we all say that every time we say this cycle is different, we realize that the cycle is actually the same. But I want to show you that the one big thing about this cycle is that we have something we never had in previous cycles. And that is reliable AI and reliable bots. And so one thing that I'm doing in this cycle to eliminate my human emotion from getting me wrecked is I'm going to give a certain portion of my capital to AI, and I'm going to give a certain portion of my capital to bots to trade for me. I've gone down this rabbit hole. I've done research for the last 3 months on the best AIs, the best bots. And today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly how much of my capital I'm allocating to these bots. I'm going to show you exactly how I'm selecting the bots. I'm going to show you exactly how I'm setting up the bots. I'm going to show you exactly how I'm managing the bots. I'm going to show you exactly how much money I'm going to give these bots and how much money I intend to make out of these bots. I don't want to call this a bot trading tutorial, but I guess to a certain extent, it probably is a little bit of a bot trading tutorial, but it's more probably the best investment decision that you can make at this part of the cycle if you really want to be in the next cycle. So listen, this is a show that I've been preparing for months and months, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. What I suggest you do is take out a notepad and get ready to write down a whole lot of things, because today I'm going to show you the biggest change I'm making to my bull market portfolio strategy. Let's get going, guys. You know what I found are the two biggest problems with these things is, the first thing is people don't understand the power of bots. And the second thing is people believe that bots are very technical and complicated. And that's exactly what I thought. And to be honest, I actually avoided using bots for 3 reasons. 1, I didn't understand how good the returns could actually be. 2, I just felt like bots, complicated, APIs, access to exchange. It's just too scary for me. I'll be honest. I'm like a simple guy. You know that. And I guess the third reason for it is that I just didn't realize how far the technology has actually come. And that's what I want to show you guys today. I think when we talk about the power of bots, this is something that's absolutely going to blow your mind. If you look at the average bots that are happening in the market, they're making sometimes returns of 10 or 15 or 20%. Even some of the bot strategies that we've deployed, you can see like the 𝗕𝗂𝗔𝗧𝗪 bot made 25% last month, and the 𝗬𝗏 bots made 13.5% in a week. This is the power of bots. It's not about getting the green candles and the 100% or the 20% or the 30%. I want to show you something very interesting. So I made a spreadsheet around a bot trading strategy. And I said, look, what if I just make 10 to 15% a month in these bots, right? So I'm going to zoom up for those of you who can't see. What if I just make 10 to 15% every single month from the bot strategy? If I allocate some of the capital that I have, if I allocate 10, 15, 20%, and we'll talk about exactly how much of my capital I'm going to be deploying to bots. But what if I just take $10,000 and I get a 15% return every single month, which our bots, by the way, have been returning a lot more than that, right? In month one, I go from 10 to 11.5, but then I've got $11,500. So in month two, I invest $11,500. I've got $13,500. But in month three, I invest $13,500 and I get to $15,000. If I do that for a year, I've 6x'd my money in a year. Okay, like I know. Now tell me how many of your altcoins and how many other coins that you know have 6x'd money in a year. And if we run this calculation on, and you can see the returns that you can make in 2 years, and the reason why I say that is because, remember, these bots don't really care bull market or bear market. They just don't, right? And so if you take a 2-year time horizon, and I mean, this is just simple maths, and you can make 10 to 15% on bots, you can take $10,000 and you can make it into $329,000. That's the magic of compounding a 15% return. There's no altcoin in the world that can give you these kind of returns with the same level of risk, right? And so this is, to me, the importance of using bots in a strategy. And to that end, when I realized this, I went down the rabbit hole, right? Because when I saw this chart, I was like, hold on a second. Are you telling me that I'm spending all my time doing all this research? And for what? To make myself a 1 or 2x on certain coins, or maybe a 3x on certain coins, when if I could just get 10, 15% every single month and keep compounding the money and reinvesting the money, then just mathematically, I'll end up making, in 24 months, I'll end up making 32x on my money. And I'll leave the spreadsheet for you guys in the description so that you guys can play with your amount of money. But I mean, if we just take, for example, the 𝗙𝗘𝗔𝗪 bot, which made 25% last month, and let's just, for fun, we're just going to do it for fun. We for fun say, look, what if we can make 25% a month? That's $2.6 million out of $10,000. Like, you understand the power of bots here? Now, so that's the power of bots. And the other thing around bots is they absolutely completely remove the human emotion from trading. And listen, I know you think you're a good trader, but you're human. And by the mere fact that you're human, I can tell you that there's no way that you are a better trader than an AI. It's just impossible. The one trades on rules, the one carries on learning from what it does, and the other one is human and has human emotions. And even if you're the best trader in the world, there's no way. So I went down the world of bots. I spent a lot of time in the world of bots. You can kind of see some of the bots. You've seen the 𝗙𝗘𝗪 bot. You've seen here are some of the other bots that I've been testing. You can see I've stopped using them. I made huge returns, 540. I made like 54%, 91%. I've made huge returns, and I've really learned to use a lot of the bots. Next question. Why am I talking to you now in this part of the crypto cycle about bots? Guys, I've been here for 3 cycles. I can tell you that the problem with this part of the cycle, the problem with the part of the cycle that gets extremely aggressive, this part of the cycle is that things move really quickly. And when things move really quickly, that is when our human emotions get triggered. Like when you watch Solana, and Solana goes from $20 or from $2, and it goes all the way up to $261. The problem is you keep getting in and getting out at the wrong time. And most people landed up holding their portfolios to the end. Now, I really do believe that this part of the cycle is going to get very, 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 very aggressive. And if you want to know how aggressive I think it's going to get, here are my targets based on a model that I made. Here are my targets for the cycle. And you can see, like, we said that if my Bitcoin price prediction was $250,000, which is this price prediction over here, the ETH price prediction takes us to $23,000. Now, I'm not going to talk about my targets in this video, but if you do want that, there is a link in the card and below, and that'll take you to the video that I made over here, this one, which shows you my realistic targets based on this actual model. You can watch that, and then you'll realize just how aggressive this is, and then ask yourself whether who's better to manage the emotion, you or some AI that's actually a lot smarter, right? Cool, so that's the thesis as to why I'm using bots, and I really hope that you understand the thesis now as well as I did. There's no way in hell that you're making 6x on a coin or 40x on a coin with this level of risk, and so this is probably why you should be, at this point, you should really be listening. And you should really be considering allocating money to bots. And the question then becomes, how much money do you allocate to bots? So the way I see it is in terms of trading, I think that bots and AIs are going to be, or are already, much better than humans can ever be in achieving that. Because we have emotion and they don't have emotion. And to test it, I actually competed against the bot. So when I was doing this exercise over here, I actually traded myself against the bot. I got destroyed, the bot didn't get destroyed at all. And that's the difference, right? Even if you look at this month, Bitcoin's having a slight correction. Our bot is up 25% on Bitcoin. When if you look at the Bitcoin price for the price increase for July, May, June. So if we look, I think easy is probably just to go on to the monthly and just look at the monthly candle. If you look at the July monthly candle, the Bitcoin price is probably only up 8%. But our bot is up 25%. And that is because we have emotion, the bot doesn't have emotion, right? So when it comes to trading, I believe that bots are much better than humans today. When it comes to investing, it's slightly different, right? Like when I look at the investment horizon, and I look at, like, I use AI a lot. And, for example, here I said, look, you work for a crypto investment fund and you're deciding whether to add 𝗬𝗏 to a diversified crypto portfolio. You're looking to hold it for about 3 years. Would you rather buy 𝗬𝗏 or Solana? In this case, I mean, you can read this whole thesis, but it's not there yet. It's not there yet. Or you need to spend a lot of time prompting. And so when it comes to investing, I think AI has probably got a year or two before it's better than a human. When it comes to trading, I think the AI has already beaten us. So what I decided to do was I decided to take all the money that I trade with, divide it by like 2/3 and give it to the bot, and 1/3 where I'm just going to mess around. And the reason why I still keep that 1/3 is because I just like the dopamine. For me, it's just fun. And so 2/3 of my trading portfolio, which means about 15 to 20% of my entire portfolio, is now living in this bot universe and being traded in the bot universe. All right, so once you've decided the capital that you want to allocate, the one other thing that I learned about investing with bots or trading with bots is that, like investing, trading with bots should be done across a diversified portfolio of bots. You shouldn't give all your money to one bot and expect the bot to end up making money, because there are some bots that go through periods where they have drawdowns. And so the strategy that I found to be the best strategy was actually to diversify the money that I took, the 20% of my portfolio, and to actually break it up across a whole lot of bots that actually make sense. Now, I did this in two bots. The first type of bots that I used were what I call directional bots. They're bots that speculate on the direction of Bitcoin or the direction of ETH, right? They speculate that Bitcoin is going to go up, and they trade as if Bitcoin is going to go up. Those are called quant bots or directional bots. And we launched two of those bots. We launched the 𝗙𝗘𝗫 bot, which is the Bitcoin bot, which is a directional bot, made a 25% return in July. By the way, if you want to sign up to this bot, there's still 28 spaces left. There's a link below. If you go to the show description, there will be a link below to, let me just refresh that, and it'll probably just show you some of the links that we actually have. So if you go to any of our shows, there is a link below to the 𝗙𝗫𝗫 bot. There's 28 spaces left. And the other directional bot that I've got is this 𝗬𝗫𝗀𝗪 bot. This one's full. You can't trade it. It's made 13.46% in the first 7 days of his life. These are what you call directional bots. These bots speculate on whether Bitcoin or ETH is going to go up or down based on some kind of algorithmic formula. And when they do, they take trades and they'll end up making more money than a human makes. And the reason why they make more money than a human makes is because they're a bot and you're a human and you can't do what they can do. So that is why we use directional bots. The harsh reality is, though, that if you look at a bull market cycle, and specifically if you look at this bull market cycle, right, because this bull market cycle is a little bit different from all the other bull market cycles. This bull market cycle has been characterized by long periods of sideways movement and short periods of movements up. For those of you who've been in the cycle, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Remember how much we suffered in the 205 days before the elections. Let me actually take you back to the chart, because that'll show you, like, I know sometimes we forget, but the elections were in November, right? Do you remember this period over here? Do you remember how bad from February 24 all the way to November 24, 230 days, we chopped left and we chopped right, and I had to make content every single day, and the market was just chopping left and chopping right and chopping left. And then we moved up 50%, right? And then you have other periods where you chop left and you chop right and you chop left and you chop right. That is the structure of the bull market. And in fact, when I look at this structure of the bull market here, choppy, 50% up, choppy, 50% up, choppy, 50% up, choppy, 50% up. What happens in these sideways periods? How do you capitalize and make money in the sideways periods? And that's where I decided to use a different kind of bot. And I call this bot a grid bot, right? These are bots that trade on grids. And they land up making money in two places. Number one, they land up making money when the markets go up and down. But number two, they make a lot of money when Bitcoin or any other coin is actually operating in a range. And the reason why they do that is because they're trading in these tiny, tiny, tiny little grids. You see every single line here? Every single line here is what they call a grid. And the bot has actions every time there is one of these lines, whether it's an in and out, they're trading in one of these lines. So the ultimate strategy for bots is to have a diversified portfolio of bots trading on your behalf as part of a diversified portfolio. We have multiple bots. Some of our bots are directional bots. You know them. By the way, we're launching another bot on Monday. It's on Solana. It's called the 𝗙𝗘𝗔𝗧𝗪 bot, because it's named after 𝗙𝗘𝗪. 𝗙𝗘𝗪. You know what I'm saying. 𝗙𝗘𝗪. He's going to be launching tomorrow or Monday. The grid bots, however, they land up making a ton of money, as you can see. Look at these APRs. They land up making a ton of money, and all they do all the time is trade in and out and in and out and in and out of the grids. So what I want to show you now is I want to show you exactly how to set up these bots, because with these bots, you can actually create them yourselves, or you can copy. So you can decide what you want to do. You can either set them up yourself, or you can copy the bots that we actually make. And I want to show you both, and I want to show them both to you right now. All right, so what do you need in order to get into this bot game? Let me tell you, it is the easiest thing in the world. I felt so intimidated when everyone said to me, bots, bots, bots. I was like, I'm going to have to integrate an API. I'm going to have to get a line of code. I'm going to have to phone the exchange. Not like that. It's like the simplest thing in the world. Let me show you how to do it. The first thing you need, you go to this video and you go to the Pionex page here, and you click on this link over here, and that will take you to a sign up page where as soon as you sign up, no questions asked, you will get up to $1,000 deposited into your account. It's the best deal that I've seen on the market for one of these things, and it comes from a really, really good exchange. So who is the exchange? The exchange is an exchange called Pionex. It's been around since very early. I think it was 2018. When did it start? 2018, 2019? 2019. It's been around since 2019. We've been working with them for a while. They are regulated in many, many, many jurisdictions, but there's two things that make this exchange, for me, I would say like the most reliable exchange in this thing. Number one, they are the best exchange when it comes to bots, because the bots are automatically already integrated into the exchange. It's like, you can almost say they're like the Binance, but for exchanges, for bots. The second reason why they're good, and this for me is the most important reason, is that when they give you a liquidation price, that's the price at which you get liquidated. Now, for those of you who've traded leverage before, you know there's a liquidation price, but when they actually execute your order, it's like 10% under the liquidation price, right? This is where Pionex is really, really, really good. And that makes me trust this exchange a whole lot more. Also, I've tested this exchange ad nauseum. Like, I've done a lot of testing on this exchange. So step number one, you open an account on the exchange. You use the link over here. You will get a sign-up bonus of $1,000. And then once you've opened the exchange, you will see that it's a great exchange. If you just want to do your normal trading on this exchange, it's great. You got the X stocks, you got futures, you got bot trading, futures trading, you got everything on this exchange. Today, we're going to focus on the futures bots, and I'm going to show you how to set up the bots. There's two things that I'm going to show you today. The first thing is you can literally, if you want, just copy my bots. I'll set them up, I'll label them, and click, and you can copy my bots. Or if you don't want to copy my bots, if you want to be a little bit more technical, and you can copy all my bots. And we're going to set up a whole lot more bots as we go along. Or what you can do is you can learn actually how to set up the bots yourself. And that's the part that I want to show you right now. So let me know what you think. Let me know so far whether you understand the thesis. Let me know if this excites you. I'm going to give you like a minute or two so you can go and open your exchange accounts. In the meantime, I'm going to get my Pionex system open right here. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to actually set up a bot. And I've broken it down for you into a very, 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 very simple framework. It's so simple that if Josh was here, I promise you, even he'd be able to do it. But he's in Dubai, so that's what we just have to learn to live with that. But hardest, I'm going to make it so simple that if Josh was here, even he'd be able to do it, right? Okay, so here's the framework. Very, very, very simple framework. The first thing that you got to do when you select a bot is you got to say to yourself, what is my objective for the bot? Am I going long? Am I going short? How much money do I want to make? How long do I want the bot to carry on running for? Just set your objectives. The next thing you're going to do is you're still going to select a coin. Then you're going to set a direction, and then the fun begins. So let me show you how to do this. First thing is you open your Pionex system over here. You go to the tab that says Futures, and you click on the tab that says Futures Bot. Okay. Then on the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see it says Futures Bot, Futures Grid, Create. That's where you click Create. Now, it's asking you here to create the lowest price and the highest price. Now, here I want to spend a little bit of time talking about going back to our framework. So let's talk about Bitcoin. The objectives for this specific bot that we're creating right now is to ride it for between now and what we think will be the end of the cycle. So together, we're going to create the Bitcoin bull market bot. And this bull market bot is going to be the bot that actually follows us from more or less where we are now, all the way up until the end of the bull market. And later on, we're going to set up some shorter bots as well. But for now, let's create the actual bull market bot. So step one, what is our objective? We've said to ride the bull market. I'm just going to write it here for fun. To ride the bull market. Okay, cool. That's our objective. Ride the rest of the bull market. That's the objective that we've set ourselves. Cool. Next, what's the coin? For this one, we're going to use Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is the ideal candidate for a bot. Why? Because Bitcoin is the coin that has been choppy up, choppy up, choppy up. And I'll show you another token that's been good at that. Let's now look at the thing. It says, the first thing is let's set a direction. And the direction for me is I believe that the rest of the market is actually going to be up. And so I think that the general market trend is going to be up. Cool. Now we're going to decide on a price range. Now remember that these bots, which are very, very, very good bots, these bots trade in a certain range, right? And so what you want to do is you want to look at the chart and you want to say, look, I want the bot to trade, but I don't want to get liquidated. I don't want the bot to buy Bitcoin all the way down to zero. And so when I'm selecting a range, generally what I'll do is I'll go to the chart and I'll use a whole lot of chart indicators to decide where the bottom of the range may be. And for now, when I look at the chart, I kind of say, look, if we have a correction, and it looks like we're having a little bit of a correction, how low will we go? I kind of believe that the lowest we'd go is to like that level over there. And if we get below that level over there, I don't want the bot trading anymore, right? Now, you can do much shorter ranges. You could say, look, I only want to trade that small range over there. But for now, remember, we're setting up the rest of the bull market bot. So because we're setting up the rest of the bull market bot, I'm going to give it a range of 98.5 or 98, which is just below that line over there, right? So the first line I'm going to say is 98,000. That is the level, that is the bottom range level of the bot. Okay, what's the highest price that I want this bot trading? I kind of think like, let's say for now, I think $200,000, But I don't like round numbers, so I'm going to say $195,000. Okay, now you see I've set a range. And the bot is going to trade in that range. And if it goes out of that range, the bot basically stops trading. It just doesn't buy, it doesn't do any trades out of the range. The next thing that the bot's asking me is, how many grids do you want? How many of those little lines that you saw on the chart do you want? And here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a whole lot of grids. So let's say it's going to be a number between 2 and 500 grids. Generally, and I've written this in our framework, or I will write this in our framework, you want the grids to be around 0.2. So when the indicator says 0.2%, what's the upward range? 0.2 to 0.2 to 0.3. So you want to get to 0.2 to 0.3%, right? That's where you want to get to. So you see I've set 300 grids, and that's giving me 0.12 to 0.3. That's good enough for me, right? What you can see you've just told the bot to do is you've told the bot, as long as this keeps going down towards 98,000, you buy. And as long as it goes up, you keep selling, and you keep selling in those grids. Now, you can mess around with the grids. Again, if you want the optimal number of grids, that's the level that you're actually looking for. Okay, next thing. We have to determine the amount, the range we've done, the grids we've done. Let's insert another row here and select the amount of money. So select amount. Hold on. Select amount of cash. Okay, that'll be 5, that'll be 6, and that'll be 7. All right, so how much money do we want to put in? Now here I'm going to teach you a little trick. So let's say that I want to put $5,000 into this bot. Okay, the first thing is unclick this auto reserve thing. Now, what is this auto reserve button here? If you invest $5,000, the bot automatically reserves a whole lot of stuff here. So if I click $5,000, you can see my liquidation price becomes 57,906. To me, I don't ever believe Bitcoin's going to 57,906, and certainly not anytime soon. And so if I allow the bot to keep my liquidation price at that level over there, then I think the bot's being too conservative, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unclick the auto reserve, and then I'm going to add my investment amount at $5,000. And it's going to, you see it, and it's going to ask me if I want to put in extra margin. My estimated liquidation price here is $71,000. Can we get to $71,000? Unlikely. If I want to add extra margin to keep myself safe, I can, right? Just by adding an extra $1,000. But in this case, I'm not going to do it, right? I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to leave it like that. And now what you see is I've got an available balance of that's the money in the account. I've put in $5,000, and now I'm going to set the leverage. Okay, now here you got to be super careful. If you set a high leverage, then you could get liquidated very soon. But the higher the leverage, the higher the risks and the higher the returns, the higher the losses you could take and the higher the profits that you can make. So I toggle with the leverage. In this case, I'm going to take it up to 5x leverage, and I want to see what that does specifically to my liquidation price. I wouldn't go higher than 5x leverage. It just feels too dangerous. It feels too stinky, dangerous. Okay, now look what happened. When I set my leverage to 5x, my liquidation price went to 86,000. How comfortable are you with an 86,000? Are you comfortable? I'm not comfortable. I'm going to add a little bit more margin. And I'm going to reduce my liquidation price to 80,000. I think 80,000, if we go down to 80,000, that would be like a very, very, very big correction. So for now, that is where I'm happy. Okay, so now I've allocated my margin, I've allocated my leverage, I've allocated the amount of cash, and now, optional, I can do a take profit or a stop loss, but I'm not going to do that because remember, here, if the bot goes below 98,000, the bot's going to stop trading. It's going to keep any futures positions open, but it's not going to buy any more positions. And if it goes above the 190,000, then look, number one, I'm rich. And number two, I don't really care anymore because I'm so rich. That's basically what it is. Okay, now, here I go create. And this is where it gets interesting. As soon as I create the bot, you'll see that what it's doing immediately is taking 56% of my money and putting it immediately into Bitcoin. Why is it putting my money immediately into Bitcoin? Because in order to sell Bitcoin on the way up, it needs to have Bitcoin. And so immediately, as I press create, the bot splits it up like this. It buys 56.78% Bitcoin, 26.54% USDT, and it keeps 16.68% to be able to do other trades that it hasn't yet imagined. Cool. Should we press go on this bot? Let's go. This is our Bitcoin bull market bot. The range, it's a 5x leverage bot. The range is 98 to 195 with 300 grids. We've met our profit fee grid that we wanted to do. We invest at $5,000. We added $1,000 to reduce our liquidation price to 80,000, which is where we feel pretty happy. And 1, 2, 3. There we go. Our bot's created. And pretty much when you go to the description of the show, you'll be able to invest in that bot or by just clicking that button and copying my settings, and you'll have exactly that bot on your thing. Now, I want to do a couple of things, and this is what you also need to learn. You go to your bot, which is this bot over here. You press detail, and then you can see all the detail of the bot. Now, I want to do a couple of things. The first thing is I want to rename the bot because this is my BTC USDT full bull bot. Okay, he's here for the full bull market bot, and I'm going to press OK. Now I've renamed him. Here at this section over here, now remember, how did I get here? I just clicked the detail button over here. I just went to my bot and I clicked on the detail button. And here you can do a whole lot of things. Number one, you can stop the bot, but don't stop the bot if the bot goes into a loss. That is part of the strategy. And I'm going to show you something very, very, very interesting in a second. You can do everything here. Number one, you can adjust the margin. Number two, you can add more investment. Number three, you can reduce your investment. You can even edit the price range. If you think that the price range needs to be bigger, you can edit the price range. But remember, when you do, it's going to affect your liquidation price and everything else, right? I'm not going to do it now. Okay, you can do a whole lot of other things. You can pause the bot, etc. Now I want to show you something very, very, very interesting. And I want to show it to you on one of the ETH bots that I actually made a couple of days ago. So here's the ETH bot that I made. This bot, I started it on the 7th of July. So you see it's been running for 25 days. And I invested $5,000 into this bot on an ETH range of $2,800 to $4,500 on 180 grids. Now I want to show you what this bot has actually done since then relative to what to everything else. So the first thing that this bot's done is it's made $1,773 on the ETH position that it was holding. Remember, as soon as I clicked the Bitcoin button, it showed you that it immediately bought Bitcoin. Well, it's made 35% by holding the ETH. But it's also made another profit, a separate profit. Can you see there's two profits that are made? One is the money that it's made by holding the ETH. And the other is the money that it's made through the grid trading. And they're sitting in two different pockets, as you can see that. Now, sometimes what you'd get, and here's a brilliant example. I opened a BTC bot 2 days ago, just before this crash, right? This one was a bit longer ago, before the crash. And you can see that even on the BTC that I was holding, I lost $283, right? Because the price went down from the time that I actually bought, because my starting price here was $117,000. But I still made money because the bot was trading the grids. That's the beauty of grid bots. Sometimes, even when the price goes down, the bot is making money because it's trading in and out of the grids. And the good news is that both of these are actually profits. Now, something that you can do, and I'm not going to do it right now, but I'm going to show you how you can do it. You can click on more. You can press compound. And I'm not going to confirm, but if I press compound, it's going to take my grid profits and my bot profits, combine them, and then actually trade with the combined profits and reset the position, so to speak. I'm not doing that at the moment. You can see, but it says, are you sure you want to reinvest your 2418 plus your 631? And my 2418 is this plus this. I'm not doing it now, but the important thing that I wanted to show you was that you could create a bot that you could lose money because the price has gone in the wrong direction. Here's a brilliant example, Solana. I'm $4 down on my Solana directional bot, but I'm $157 up on the grid because the bot is changing the grid. You get it? It's like the best thing in the world, because whether you make money directionally and you make money on the range between the ranges, and that's the part that actually makes this such a good strategy. Okay, now let's talk about which coins we should create bots on, and we can create 1 or 2 bots together. So the first rule of creating a bot on a coin is you need to create a bot on a coin that you actually know. Yes. Don't try and create a bot on a coin that you don't know. And the reason why you shouldn't do that is because you don't know the ranges. And it's like almost like you're getting into the wrong, you get into the wrong hood and you don't know the ranges in that hood. You could get liquidated before you even know it, right? So what you need to do is you need to trade coins that you actually know. So I'm going to show you like 1 or 2 coins that I actually know, and let's set up like 1 or 2 more bots together just so that you can see how simple it is. Right now, I think one of the best bots, the best coins that's screaming, and it's like when you open this Solana chart, you know what this chart's screaming to me? Create a bot, create a bot, create a bot. You know why? Because look at this range. Range. Huh. Create a bot. It's telling you that if you would have bought Solana here, which was a year ago, 16th of March 24, you wouldn't have made money. But look how much range there is. Right? Look at the range. That's a bot that is screaming, make a bot, make a bot, make a bot. So I'm gonna honor what they're saying, and I'm gonna make a bot because it's screaming. Can you see? It's like it's almost going, please, please, please. So I'm gonna make a bot because I know Solana. I know Solana well. I know the range of Solana. I know Sol will hardly ever get to 95,000. I'd be very surprised if Sol goes between under 121. I'm going to create a bot, and I'm going to give this bot like $115 a number over here. And then I'm going to ride it to the top of the range, which is about $300, right? And then you know what? If it goes higher than that, that's amazing. We'll create another bot and we'll trade that bot higher. So let's go and create that bot together. So what do? Just reminder. Futures bot. On the right-hand side here, create bot. We select our token, and we know Solana well, so we will create a Solana bot. And we said that the lowest price of the range was $115, and the highest price of the range was the previous all-time high, which is $300. How many grids? Let's go with 300 and see what the number that it gives us. 0.16, 0.49. I think that's good enough, right? Let's see what happens if we do 250 grids. 0.2 to 0.6. Okay, I'm happy with that. 250 grids. How much am I going to invest? Then we put $5,000 into this bot. Okay. What is my liquidation price? $69. It's not going to be $69. So let me increase my leverage to 5x. Now, what does that do to my liquidation price? $86. I mean, it's not going to $86. And if it does, then I've got much bigger problems than the 5,000 that I lose on this spot. So maybe I have an opportunity here to go into 6x leverage. Let's see what happens if I go to 6x leverage. $91. I'm comfortable with $91. It's not going to get to $91. And if it does, we've got much bigger problems. Now, you can be more aggressive. Obviously, because I'm here and I've got a big audience, I'm not going to be that aggressive. I'm going $5,000, 6x. So let me go $5,000. And, oh wait, hold on. See, oh wait, so I didn't unclick auto reserves. That did seem a little bit aggressive for me. Okay, 127 is I'm going to add an extra margin of $1,000. Cancel. No, not enough. I want to make sure that liquidation price is below 100 or near 100. Let's see what there. 110. Not enough. Not enough. Under 110. Okay, $106. That's my liquidation price. So I'm going to invest 5,000. I'm going to add extra margin just so I don't get liquidated. It's my peace of mind that I don't actually get liquidated, right? Again, I'm not setting a stop loss and I'm not setting a take profit. And the reason why I'm not setting a stop loss and I'm not setting a take profit is because my liquidation price is so low, and I'm going to ride this to the end, that I'm not setting a stop loss and a take profit. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press create. It's going to invest $43 into Sol, $18% into USDT, and it's going to keep 37% for more trading. I click OK. We have another bot. Now I'm quickly going to rename that bot. Okay, that's the bot. Let me rename it so we remember, because we're going to have a lot of these bots. Where is my rename the bot? Adjust margin, reach profit, add investment, modify bot name. And I'm going to call it Solana. What should we call it? Let's call it Solana 100. What was our range? It was $120 to $300. And this one, we'll call this one the $120 to $300 money machine. This is the machine that's going to make us a lot of money. Money machine. Okay, my bot is renamed. I have a bot running. It's already managed to lose me $10. I've got 115 to 300 price range with 250 grids, and the bot is now running and the bot is now trading. And so basically you can see how to create a whole lot of bots. Should we do one more together just for ETH? Cool, let's just do one together for ETH. I think it's a great idea. So this ETH bot, so let's look at ETH. And ETH is a little bit more tricky, and I'll show you why ETH becomes a little bit more tricky. But I'm going to show you how to create ETH bot anyway. You see the problem here. The problem here is there's no range, right? Now, the problem with no range is that you don't know where you want to set the parameters of the bot. So you've got to take a view here. My view is that ETH probably isn't going to go below $2,500. I think if ETH goes below 2.5 or 2.4, we got ourselves a bit of a problem, right? And I think that the next stop for ETH is actually to break the all-time high at $5,000. So I'm going to play those ranges, right? I'm going to go and say, look, let's look at what a 30% bull market correction would look like from here. 30% bull market correction would take me to 2.5. Okay, cool. That's exactly my range, right? I didn't do this before, but now you know. So I go futures bot, create bot. I go ETH because that's the ETH that I'm playing, and ETH USD perpetual. I pick my range. Let's go for 2.4 is the first range. And the next one, the next range that I want to play is up to the all-time high, which is $5,000. Number of grids, let's go in at 250 grids just to see our test. 0.16 to 0.39 kind of works. We unclick auto reserve. We put in $5,000 into the bot, and we see that our liquidation price is 2165. Let's reduce it a little bit. 1928. I think I'm comfortable with that for now. Okay. Remember, you got to keep watching these bots to do it. And am I ready? I say absolutely yes. I'm ready. 44% is going to be invested in ETH immediately. 38% is going to be invested in USDT immediately. And 16.68% is going to be in an investment reserve, which the computer doesn't know what to do with yet. And I click OK. So easy. Remember that I told you, like, I was so intimidated by bots and APIs. Like 5 steps. 5 steps. So simple, 5 steps. Anyway, let's rename this bot, because otherwise we're going to have a whole lot of bots and we're not going to know their names. And that's like having a whole lot of girlfriends and not knowing their names. Now you see here, what I did was I left it on 3x leverage. Now let's say I wanted to adjust the leverage. Let's say, like, that's not aggressive enough for me. Let's go to 5x leverage. When I do that, you have to be careful to watch your liquidation price, okay? Watch your liquidation price. You see, here it says after, my liquidation price is 1928. Cool. I'm cool with that, right? We cool with that. Cool. Hit enter. Amazing. You got a liquidation price of 1928. You've got a 5x bot running on ETH. It will trade anywhere in the ranges that we just discussed. Let's just give it a name. This name is the ETH $2,500 to $5,000 money money making machine. Simple. Hit enter. We've got those bots. All right, guys. So those are the bots. I want to show you one more strategy, which I don't know if it's a good day to show it to you because the prices are a little bit rough, but let me show it to you anyway. And that is to create a bot on a very, very, very small range. And I want to show you what happens when you do a bot on a very small range. So I think I want to use Bitcoin for this, just because Bitcoin has been kind of range bound. And I want to create a bot. So let's go back to here. I want to create a bot that trades a very, very, very small range, right? So let's go to the Bitcoin chart. And let's say that I only want to trade this range over here, which is 110 to 125. It's like a very small range, right? That's the range that I want to be trading in, because that's where the bot's going to make a lot of, because that's the Bitcoin range. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to futures grid. I'm going to go to Bitcoin USDT, so BTC USDT. Okay, I'm going to set the bottom of the range at 110. I'm going to set the highest part of the range at 120, 122, 120, 125. Okay, I'm going to set the grids quickly, and let's see how many grids will be the optimal number of grids for this very small space. Okay, you see, it doesn't give me a lot of grids because there we go, 50 grids in that small range, 50 grids. How much am I going to put? I'm going to go back to my 5x leverage, and I'm going to put in $3,000 because I'm kind of running out of money now. I've only got $6,000 left. I don't need to put more money in the account. Okay, now let's just see what so now you can see that my let me actually go with 5x leverage. Maybe it'll still give me a decent liquidation price. Yeah, 90 is a very low liquidation price. You know, let's not, and then let me add $1,000 margin. Okay, 81 is my liquidation price. Now I've got a bot trading in a very, 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 very small range. I'm not going to take profits because all that's going to happen is if it goes down here, it's just going to stop buying. And that's cool. Just hold the position and go and wait for it to go back up. And I create the bot. Bang, 1, 2, 3. Did you see that? Okay, now, again, I'm going to rename my bot. This bot over here is here. It's this bot over here. I'm going to call it the Bitcoin 110K to 125K bot. I think 125K money speed bot. This is the speed bot. He trades in and out and in and out. And there we go. Okay, so for today, that's all I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you, number one, probably the most important thing is why bots are important and what the kind of returns that you can actually make with bots. I wanted to show you that you need a diversified bot strategy. And to that, I'm going to leave links to all our bots, the 𝗤𝗘𝗓 bot, the Pionex bots, in the link below. Remember, if you want to do this, you need to sign up using this link over here. And then you'll get the $1,000 sign up bonus. And then you can create your own bots, or you can just copy my bots. The other thing is I'm going to leave a spreadsheet here with a couple of things. First thing is the framework is going to be in the spreadsheet. Second thing is I'm going to leave all the settings for all the bots in the description so that you know exactly what the settings are if you want to make exactly the same bots. And that spreadsheet is going to be available for as long as the shows are up. I'm just going to leave a link in the description for you guys to do that. Listen, guys, I really hope that you've enjoyed this as much as I've enjoyed it. I think it's like been one of the most amazing things that I've done. And I think it's going to make us a lot of money in this part of the bull market. And it's going to protect us against our own emotions. Also, we're going to be checking in with these bots daily. And we're going to be setting up new bots every time we have amazing ideas. So best you open that account as quickly as possible. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Normal programming, lots of alpha to bring you. Until then, trade well, my friends.